The Meraglim, the Jewish spies, the greatest mistake we ever made. Now, it isn't just the greatest mistake due to its repercussions. No, it's the Jewish people's greatest mistake because we still have not learned from it. So what was this great mistake, this great sin, and why is it still such a burden on us till today? So let's start at the very beginning. See, Hashem established his relationship with us in a very deep and profound way. He put us in the land of Egypt, Mitzrayim, a land that was designed to stop us from building a relationship with him, a land filled with filth, pain, slavery, and evil. He put us through hell and back, and then he turned the world upside down, brought us out of Egypt in the most miraculous of ways, and brought us up to a land that was the exact opposite of Mitzrayim, a land designed for purity, spirituality, freedom, and goodness, a land where we can spend all of our time becoming close to Hashem. And how did we respond? We said, "Thanks, God, we'll take a look at it, and if we like what we see, we'll take it." And so we sent in the spies. But because we didn't trust in Hashem and grab hold of his precious gift, Hashem let the Satan do his evil work. And instead of seeing everything that was perfect with the land, all they were able to see was the bad. And when these spies came back with an evil report, the Jews cried, because instead of trusting in Hashem's word alone, they trusted the words of the Meraglim. And so that day became the source of all of our pain and suffering for the rest of Jewish history. Now, don't make the mistake of thinking that the spies came back with a long list of evil reports. In fact, they praised the land. They said indeed it does flow with milk and honey. But they used the word ephes, meaning the land is perfect, but we found some flaws. Now, we still have not corrected this mistake. See, most Jews in Eretz will tell you, Eretz Yisroel, it's our home. It's a beautiful land. I wish I could live there. But this is a character flaw that we inherited from the Meraglim. If Hashem told us the land is perfect and that it is for us to live in, then there is no but. And also understand what their Lashon Hara was. See, the spies didn't really say anything bad about Eretz Yisroel. They simply reported on the facts of what they saw, but they added one sentence. They said, "We can't do it." This too is something we still have not fixed. See, if Hashem gave us the land to live in, then by definition that means we can live there, and we must. And saying anything short of that is exactly what the Meraglim did. And after hearing this evil report, the Jews then cried out and said, "If only we had died in Egypt. If only we had died in the desert." Sounds outrageous, doesn't it? But how many God-fearing Jews in America have no plans of ever coming to Eretz Yisroel? They would rather die in the desert, that is America or the like, rather than have to face any hardship in the land given to us by God himself. Now, the Torah also went on to describe who these spies actually were. They were not ordinary people. No. The Torah describes them as distinguished men, each the leader of his tribe. Now, the Torah tells us this because when it comes to entering the land of Eretz Yisroel, the Satan seems to have permission to use extraordinary measures. So much so that the Satan uses any and all tactics, many times even enlisting some of the greatest members of Klal Yisroel to stop us from entering our land. Why? Because of the power we have when we serve Hashem in Eretz Yisroel. Now, this was also true before the building of the second Beis HaMikdash. It states in Tanakh that the only people that followed Ezra and Nehemiah back to Eretz Yisroel were the insignificant and lower-class Jews. That means the great men of Klal Yisroel, the leaders, and the seemingly righteous, upstanding individuals, they were the ones who stayed behind. And you should know that this is still very true today. See, the Shlach HaKadosh writes that the Meraglim did not want to leave the desert because there they had respected positions of authority and leadership, and they did not know if they would be able to keep these positions after entering the land of Eretz Yisroel. Now, if these leaders of Klal Yisroel were persuaded by such motives in the Dar HaMidbar, during a time when the Jews were possibly on the highest of spiritual levels we ever were, could it possibly be that in our generation, some of our leaders don't also face such challenges? And is it a coincidence that the very next parsha after the sin of the spies is Parshas Korach, the story of an extremely great man who gave up everything he believed in because he was blinded by jealousy and selfishness, and Dasan and Aviram, who referred to Mitzrayim as the land of flowing milk and honey. Something so outrageous that it's almost hard to believe. Yet are we so different nowadays? How many Jews sit and praise America about all its virtues, yet have absolutely no plans of ever living in our homeland, Eretz Yisroel. Now know that even though all the Meraglim were able to see was the bad in Eretz Yisroel, and still today so many people see just the bad and the hardships of Eretz Yisroel, the truth is, there is no bad, for one simple reason. Because the Creator of the universe told us it is good. Hashem told us it's the very best land. And the sooner we are able to trust in Hashem's word over our own judgment, the sooner we will be able to fix the great and tragic mistake of the spies. And this is why when Moshe Rabbeinu sent the Meraglim, he used the word v'hischazaktem. He told them to strengthen themselves. See, the words chazak ve'ematz, be strong and courageous, are only used together 8 times throughout the entire Tanakh. And in almost every instance that those 2 words are used together, it's in reference to conquering Eretz Yisroel and building the Beis HaMikdash. Because only in regards to those 2 things does the Satan use every obstacle and trick to try to stop us. Because only through Eretz Yisroel and the building of the Beis HaMikdash can we achieve full closeness and connection to Hashem. So I say to you, Chazak ve'ematz, be strong and courageous, and let us be the generation to fix the greatest mistake we ever made.